I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is June 8th, Monday, 2026. Hope you had a good weekend and a good day, pimp. And yo, let me just tell y'all something. I don't be playing around here. I don't just be drawing shit. So, we talked about coming up and then rating and then coming down here. Now, yeah, obviously, I don't know how far the flush would be or whatever, but I said we'll come down here at least because, we had a volume imbalance. We had a liquidity void of a gap there with no price action inside it. And they came lower. So you're going to see how we maneuver. And then what's crazy is they did it on the 5th. I was calling the 5th. I was like, yo, watch the 5th. There's NFP, blah, blah, blah. And then they played around, they dropped, and then they came back. But then they dropped really heavy on the 5th. So that's seasonality, bro. You got Trump talking about, oh, stocks shouldn't come down. My dude, how do I know this before you say some shit on the internet, bro? Like obviously, it's if we understand seasonality is okay. I don't even need to explain that, right? So, but here's what happens to me, which is crazy. I'm gonna just do this because what happened to me is I've been up all night, every night, and I've been coding. I'm not a coder. I'm the farthest thing away from a computer guy. Thank God for Claude because I got him creating indicators for me, and So I spent the last month teaching this motherfucker everything I know. Right, I just been losing it, and then I've got him making indicators for me, and then the back and forth of how to do it and fix it and blah blah blah. So I've been working on an indicators, right? So what you're gonna see on my screen is just that I have indicators here. It's busy. Trust me, I'm still trying to figure out like how I'm gonna like keep it smooth or whatever. But this was I was sitting there working until almost 2 in the morning, and then boom. The price came down. You're looking at this screen here. I'm going to blow this up because this is fire. So I obviously know we just dropped. By the way, I caught the Friday drop from here. When it broke through and then that first phase of lower highs and then sold off into here. That's when I put a public post on for YouTube and said, "Hey, gotcha." Right? So I took that from there to in there. So but point, I don't even show that. The point is, right now, is I understand that we dropped a lot, and it was all a major drop on the 5th. We're supposed to keep selling through the 12th. Okay, so 10th, 12th. It depends if they do it early, do it late. But right now, I think it's a little too early. It's the 8th. So, but what I do understand is that we made a major drop low, and I mean, if they're gonna come back and wipe out some of these sellers, dude. So happened to be that I'm working and I'm coding and doing all these things, and then and just so I can mention it, I created an indicator that will select the imbalances for me now. I don't know if anyone has that out there. I'm sure someone does, but mine are awesome because they include. Oh, I'm sure maybe someone else has it. I don't know, but mine include the volume imbalances, the gaps. So instead of me sitting here like some old fucking man over here trying to like select these imbalances with the gaps and all this bullshit, I got an indicator that does it for me now perfectly, because TradingView's bars, they relay into Pine and you can access them and all this dumb shit, which I don't. Whatever. The point is that, and now I don't have to draw them. But the drawback is now I got every single one of these motherfuckers drawn. So I'm in this developing stage of refinement, and I just kind of went live with these indicators like end of last week. But point is that so that's what's going to be here. You're going to see the imbalances. You're going to see bearish ones. You're going to see bullish ones, and then you're going to see these yellow ones, gold ones, or whatever. And those are the ones that are perfect with this grid. So what I'm doing is naturally, this is when we closed. We opened up here, and then so you have I have the bullish. I'm sorry, I have the imbalance indicators there. I have a structure. I taught it structure. I taught it advanced structure, and all this and that. So there's an advanced structure, what do you call it, indicator on here telling me, when a swing is a long term or intermediate, and so on. And that's pretty much it as of now. And then I got my seasonality window right here too, little box right here. So when I do my seasonality, I taught it all the data. I'm like, okay, well, this is a window that they all agree at. And I do not give them the data unless they all fucking agree. If the 5 years going up and the 15-year and 30-year going down, I don't count it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting myself against high probability scenarios. Okay. Anyways, that's a nice tidbit for you, but especially if you're new. But what's the point? Point is that if nothing was on the screen, again, I'm still looking for a buy up to squeeze sellers here to the left here. See that shit? So, what's it called? So, yeah, I was working, and then it's creating the at this time I screenshotted it. I woke up and the price was already up here. I was like, oh my god, yes, beautiful. But how I got in was this, and it's not highlighted. So in this screenshot, it's not highlighted. This is supposed to be an intermediate term low right here that I'm highlighting here, and it's bouncing on that on that whole figure black level. See that? That's a whole standard deviation range from here up to here. See the black line here and the black line here. The 50% is right there. 25% is on both sides. The blue is the eighth. I hand drew this, that's the inefficiency that we rolled through. It is last week's gap, or the week before that. I'm sorry. It is a previous week's gap. So yes, it should be a changed color. It should be gray. I just didn't fuck with it. And my goal was to come into here, right? But I ended up squeezing too tight, and it got higher. And then I squeezed out. But point is that when the price, it put this intermediate term low here, and then it rated it here. This is supposed to say long-term low. I don't know why. See, I was trying to get ready for the screenshot so I can take it and this and that, and then when I copied the indicator, I didn't put the setting right, and it's supposed to show that. You'll see it in a second, but and then also on the indicator that I built, you'll see this. Oh yeah, because I didn't fix it on this screen over here. On these screens over here, you can see that I have these big market structure shift. I've already changed it to a smaller X because it's loud. But when I get a market structure shift, all right, it shows the candle and the direction, which is up. If it's red, it's going down. Then these red or green arrows is showing me more direction of where the price is going. So that's a whole nother conversation. But what's the point? The point is that this swing is the same level as this swing right here. You see that? So some people call this a head and shoulders. Some people, advanced structure will tell you that they're both swing lows, and look where it's happening. That can't be fucking random. Plus, I have this inversion here, right there, dragged out, right? So I know I'm here. So while the price is dipping down, I happen to be just busy and working, and I'm looking at this like, dude, hello, did you forget that you wanted to get a nice buy? I wasn't interested in buying or trading. I was working. And then I was like, ding, 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 hello, oversold. Look at the confluence with what I've already just mentioned. I'm like, bro, push buy. As soon as this damn candle, see the last down candle, it's a 5-minute chart, by the way, otherwise I couldn't fit it on there. But as soon as the candle, that last down candle gets printed and the next candle's bullish and runs through it, I pushed buy. No heat. And it just pushed up here. And then it's using these as inversions. And then it just kept fucking climbing up. When I pushed buy, I put my stop loss here and I went to bed. Like fucking went to bed. Like I didn't see all this here. Like it was just already up, and I expected it to take out what? This buy side liquidity. And then what's after that? I'm coming to this breakout area. Why? That was a low. We broke through it. You can see the imbalance, fucking million imbalances now. On the 1 hour is nice up here. You'll see that they're very clear, and they're in gold because that means they're perfect. But what's it called? They're inefficiencies. Where the algorithm is going to go on balance price. So that was it, man. Woke up and I was like, dude, hell yeah! And I started to squeeze, and my goal was to get into here, but I was like, I'm fucking done. Fuck off. And just a beautiful trade. I was trying to break my record of over 55K, and these are the months, and this is the leverage that you can do those type of things, and it just fired. Let me back off from this, and then actually let me go through the other screenshots. So to add to this fire here, don't worry about these on the left, but what's this? I can't draw on here. See this? This is an old. This is actually remember the holiday that we had on Monday? That Tuesday. That's that opening range gap. Look at how it comes to the 50. So I knew that already. And this is a blank screen, so you can see that we have a bearish imbalance here. That's the same one I dragged out. It's a balanced price range. It's a reversal. And then you pull in for a pullback. That's the first higher low. Look where the fucking higher low is bouncing from. On the top of that grid. Dude, I'm trying to tell y'all. What I give you guys is fire. So the price came down, and I looked at this as, yes, this is the same level as that swing, but it's a support, right? It's just pretty much we broke through it, and they're coming back, getting early buyers that was induced, and that's it. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Plus, we are going to get into this area here, and then I want to sweep these guys here, but what if it doesn't happen, right? But we know it's going to happen because they need to put a body over that gap. We only put a bearish body. Now we need to put a bullish body. That being said, not at the time, we started with a divergence there on NQ with a higher low. We had lower lows there. That started the whole party. And then guess what? When I seen this, I was like, you got it, motherfucker. Lower low here, higher low, lower low. Or is this? I forgot which one. If this was higher, I can't remember. It was like it tagged it or something. Yeah, but I'm more interested in these assets, the S&P and Nasdaq. So this was just all lining up. I'm like, bruh, let's go, let's fucking go, baby. So man, that was a good feeling waking up to seeing that number. I was like, man, did we roll through or not? But that's why I don't do overnight trades. So this, I haven't done an Asia trade in a very long time, and the reason why I did that was because this drop was stupid. I don't expect it to continue dropping. It can continue dropping now, but I understand we're gonna come back up, and they're gonna mitigate some people to the left anyway. So that being the case, and at the time I drew this, it was wrong. But I was like so freaking out to try to get everything ready. I woke up late. I went to sleep super late, dude. I wasn't even gonna trade. And then I was like, bro, I was like, man, like a raccoon. And I'm like, man, so I just couldn't get everything right. But this was the correct measurement from that high to this low. You'll see me have changed it already. That's why it doesn't make sense in this screenshot. So I realized I didn't change it, but it was from here to here, and then you'll see a -2 right here. Anyways, what are we also doing here? We have these old weak gaps. So you can see that we rated Asia's low. That's what that induced low was on this chart. And then you can see that we pop up into these old weak gaps. Then we had the midnight level and that line, and that's it. That's all that's here. And then above is that bullish daily imbalance that we rolled through, and then you'll see I have it in eighth, so meaning in quads and eighth levels, but you'll see how we maneuver through that down. But the point is look how we kissed the bottom of that bullish daily imbalance, and then I'm trying to rush for that and hunt that, and that's all this chart needs to show you. So I even screenshotted it without all the craziness. Um, and then this was my remaining screenshot. So I had to, so I took the screenshot first with all the shit on there, and then I took the last screenshot, which was this, which is what my normal chart would look like. And then put the circle on, and then by that time I had squeezed up to here. So you can see I got squeezed up higher. So but look where my circle is. Look at my gist. I'm telling you clearly that when it hits here on this whole level, now I have it dragged. I drew this manually, right? Nothing else on the chart, zero. And then I'm highlighting what? I'm highlighting the low of that gap, and I'm highlighting this 50%. This red level is a 50% level. It's not a quad. See, it's darker. This is lighter. And so as you can see, you notice how we missed it initially right there, right? And I'm like, nope, we're going above it. They didn't come here to not tag it. Could it have reversed? Yeah, but the thing is that I understand that this is an objective up here anyway. So I'm circling there to there, and look where it is. Look where it is. So and then I'm not gonna go through all the trades today. I took some pretty good trades, and I got chopped up a little bit too, but I wanted you to see this too as we're heading into that. I cannot make. I even have more work to do, and I have to go. But yeah, this is kind of pointless. But I will show you this. So this is one of the trades I'll show you. So here, look where I get. So I get, that was that same circle. Looks bigger here though. Got all this shit, man. This is, again, like I said, I don't like all this stuff on the chart, man. But I'm trying to kind of get used to it because I'm trying to have Claude and the system that we're building to collect data as well. So I kind of have to leave it on, or I can probably take the labels off, but I think I'm talking too much. But point is that I'm trying to see if I can use it with all this shit on here. And, it's the same story. It's just, this kind of gives you a more overview. So now you can kind of see that now that I get highlighted right there. And then here's your first imbalance. So this is a dump pump profile, right? So 930 swept up here. Beautiful, right? Little inversion date. My indicator didn't draw it, but it worked. It's there. I saw that, and then we rated real quick. It's just they didn't put the label intermediate term high there. They might have counted as a short term high. I'm not sure, and I don't have that. I had that label off. But point is that we were dumping and then pumping, which is what we had started to exceed pushing up. So they're inducing buyers here, trapping them. And then I understand very simply, if you look at the 1 hour here, we had a high here in Asia and we busted fucking right through it. Okay. So, and as you see that bullish imbalance, that's not highlighted on this chart, because I was messing with the settings. It is laying on side that 1/8 quadrant, and then we're bouncing in it. So when I'm taking this sell down into here initially, I'm doing that because I want to wipe out these late buyers, plus so it's the trifecta. You have liquidity, you have imbalance, and then you have breakout level. It's a breakout high right there. So we're retracing back in some drives. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Now that we get this sloppy shit right here. I get kind of chopped up in it. But, and this was kind of actually sloppy too a little bit, but it was just very difficult the way they were printing the fucking candles, dude. It was like, Jesus. But I have all this shit on my chart, so I'm trying to I'm watching what it tells me when a market structure shifts, and then, whatever. So this ends up being an inversion, obviously. And then there's a bullish imbalance right here. I know there's a lot of shit. Just give me a second. There's a bullish imbalance right there. We're all the price is sitting right inside it. There's a 16th level. Is this going to sell down and be a lower low and we're going to go, or we're going to keep going up for another drive? Well, if this is a dump pump profile, dump first, then it pumps for a new high. Period. Or that model is being attached to the logic of saying, well, this is a lower low. We got to make a lower high. Just like last Thursday. No difference. All right. Very similar, actually. The difference is that Thursday was lower here when we were starting the price action. So with this is a retracement and another higher high. Counter trending back up. I'm still bearish. The seasonality is still bearish, but I understand that they're not coming down yet. They got to come back up. And they just built all these lower highs. Here's your setup. So anyways, then the price, I have this bearish imbalance here. And we came below, it came above it, came below it. Look at the bodies here. Now they're starting to tweak. Look at slither. Look at how they're closing. They're wicking, but they're just, the bodies are getting finite and then shoots off. See that? That's how I entered. Saw it shooting off. Oh, you little bitches. And we're above this level. And I understand that this is my target. All this liquidity plus the target is obviously this high, because I wanted to actually take the buy above here because of the fact that I know they want to algorithmically sweep above this level. Why? Because people were selling from above it. So you see me very clear. I'm highlighting the high of that circle is that 75% level in the red. Then I have this is the 16th level. And then what's below that, that's the high here. Notice how I squeeze out right here. And then here's your first imbalance here. Again, dude, I don't know. I got to do something different, but it's just too much. I'll just keep going, though, because it's fire. But I was really impressed by the work that me and Claude did and the indicators that I built. And man, it's so awesome because now I have the average weekly range. I developed a indicator just for that too. Now I don't have to sit there and add all the weeks and then divide it by 5 and all that just to get the number. Now I created an indicator, dude. Like, dude, this is so awesome. Like, I don't have to pay for a coder. I don't have to find one. I don't have to, tell them what I'm doing. Yo, it's crazy, bro. Again, I am not a coder. I'm not a computer dude. And he's doing it all for me. I'm like, man, this is a blessing. So awesome. So now I don't sit there and draw these there's a lot though. And I would never draw all these. But it is so nice to not have to sit there and look in the corner up here and see, what the number is and is it matching? He does it perfectly, dude. So I'm like, it's like this thing's on autopilot. I get this signal here, market structure shift 2 as well. Boom. And I'm actually damn near beating him to it. I'm already pushing buy, and then this pops in. It says market structure shift, green, it's buy, right? So so this is just kind of like a momentum play, but I understood this structure. It's like, okay, well, dude, you should be rolling over here. Is it gonna do this, or is it gonna do this? And I was right, coming up on the top side. So, anyways, Look at the slithering. Look at fuck you, bro. Look at this. Ding. Get the fuck out. And just beautiful, man. Just beautiful, man. What is this? Let me get out of it. I didn't even fucking finish writing all this stuff. Alright, so let's do it this way. Okay, so that's it right there. And then I'll show you the rest of it. I gotta tap everything else. So this is the kicker of buying. So when we go turn and look at the current gap today, we sold off into the 25%. So when you have a very large gap like this, see, notice this one was very large. What did they do? They only hit the bottom eighth. So here we hit the bottom 25. Look at the bodies, dude. Look at the bodies. So now you can see that we dipped underneath the liquidity, the imbalance, and they didn't tag the breakout area. Here. See that? And look at the bodies, dude. Beautiful, bro. And when am I taking it? So I wanted to take it here because this is, I'll go back to the opening range gaps grid, but you'll see that this is an old one from, I can't remember what day, and I'll tell you what this day was. And then, for me, this is a breakout area here. So we have imbalance here, we have liquidity, and we have a breakout area, and then we have 50% of this grid. So I'm like, yeah, dude, no problem. That's where we're going. Sure enough, we go right fucking to it and we sold off. Bro, let me just show you this shit, dude. It's just fucking freaking out. It's just beautiful. Okay, just fucking beautiful. All right, with that divergence work here, when I initially sold, we had I'll be here all day if I go through all this shit. So here you'll see that Dow made a huge higher high, and we had a lower high here. So that was the initial when we sold off. And then we had another little one with Dow right there, and we took us all. So then when we were down here, okay, we had a higher low with Dow. So that was the signal of buying up. And that's pretty much it for that screen shot. But this will be, you'll see this more clear when you see the bullish. Okay, now you can see it. I have it fixed here, right? Over here. See that? See how I have it? And then you see the -2 right there. So anyways, you can see that, by the way, the midnight level, we bounced from it. So when we retrace back on this opening range, I have the opening range gap on this chart, but look where we ticked. Oh my God, what is that? Oh, that's an old weak gap. Yeah, to the fucking tick. Dude, when I'm seeing all this, I'm like, bro, I just thought it was too easy. I'll be honest with you. So I get chopped up and trying to fucking sell or, try to, because, we're bearish, but it's like, because this profile, once it dumped, it could have just kept being a sell by sell. That's what I was initially thinking. But when it came down, I said, don't forget the plot of the movie. We're going to come up higher. And because they wanted to come up here the whole time, but they stopped here. And look where we stopped on this chart. Look where we stopped on the 8th of the daily bullish imbalance. I got all those things nested in confluence. We buy up, and I'm trying to get above it into here, and then I squeezed it too tight, and then they pulled back, and then they went up. And that's this chart. All right. So what would we do after that? What do we do after that? Pulled back, pushed right to the quad, then to the 8th. Look at this 8th. Just remember this. Look at the 8th. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies on the 15-minute. Look at the bodies on the 15-minute. Okay. Beautiful, right? Okay. All right. Ready? And then whatever. Just slowly pushing back down. Okay? So buy, sell, buy, and it failed. But this is a lower low to a lower high. So pretty much a shakeout, right? But and that's just, I can't get into it more than that. But let me go into this. Yes. You're like, yes. Yo, check this out, baby. So this was May 26th, that holiday, the day after the holiday. Remember that? Look, that's that 50%. Remember, this was equal. Remember these equal lows here? We were targeting that, by the way, on Friday. And then we blew through it. So this is a mitigation. So, but that structure is being developed around that. Plus the other levels that I'll get into as well. But, and then this one down here. Yeah, I know. All the way from Friday, May 8th. Yes. You're like, well, which one do you pick? Well, I'm always going to use Fridays and Mondays off top, right? Beginning and ending of months, of weeks, sorry. Sometimes Wednesday, obviously, because it's the middle. But in general speaking, I'm not drawing this one out. I'm not dragging this one out. This one's definitely more profound for me because of not only the day, but also the location. Notice these other ones were using this as like a support type of conversation. But I mean, it just happened to work out. Do you think that's coincidence? From that 50 to that 50, bro? Okay. Somebody's figured something out, ain't it? Yeah. What was I gonna say? And then Friday, when we sold off, used that 25% of fucking this May 27 Wednesday. There's a Wednesday. See that? So we came into it and then just Anyways, um, Nvidia also with the push back down. Yeah, they're retracing. I mean, they kind of topped out. AI bubble or not, I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. But they just induced low and getting more of these guys here, and you know, I, it doesn't matter. The seasonality I've already outlined it. Now, when I said this, by the way, and to bounce up and for June to make a low and an internal high and an internal higher low and then a buy up, that's what June's gonna look like. But it could come lower though. But that's why I understood this was kind of like that minimum conversation. And then if I move forward here, and also this -1, dude, look where it is. Look where it is. Okay, talked about this, right? So this is all not hindsight. I've talked about all of this. Then that daily bullish imbalance, kind of getting held here. I didn't drag it out because of not to get muddy here. But if we come underneath it, it uses as resistance. We have another one here, and we have liquidity. So now if we continue the conversation, actually before I even do that, I know this looks crazy as soon as I put this on, dude. I have to adjust the settings because there's too many labels right now. But remember that what was that? The 8th level on the daily bullish imbalance, and also that opening range gap 50. Look where it tagged. That's all happening at the same place. Their hair's off, but that's the 16th right there. And as you can see, remember I had my circle there. So I got stopped out, and they bought back up again strong. Then it came back in. I bought this from here to here, by the way. Why was this my next target? Well, because they want to get above that gap that I talked about. I'm deleting this now. And then we wanted to push up into here. Why? Look in the 1 hour, you have an imbalance right there. So we're just basically balancing price here underneath that guy, right? So, because he already did an efficient job, not efficient, but he did a job of balancing, pushing up. You have this little corner that's still that left, but we're bearish, and that's why you kind of see us still falling. And I even took this sell here, and I didn't hold it, but I didn't care. I've already did extremely well today, but I did get chopped up in this shit too. I ain't gonna lie. So I was like, "Fuck, really?" I didn't even realize how much I lost with these stupid fucking wicks and the way they were printing. I was like, "Damn, dude." So I had obviously a massive buffer from the Asia trade, but again, that's why I took the Asia trade, because I'm like, dude, if there's any day that you're going to do it, take an Asian trade, it's gonna be this fucking session. And sure enough, beautiful. So cascading down here, I can't really go into more in this, but man, I'm watching the indicator tell me to sell and this and that, and I'm still not done. I still have to go through models and collect this little box in the corner that's gonna stack confluences and tell me to sell or whatever. I mean, to be honest with you, bro, I don't need any of this shit. It's just like messy as fuck. I'm like hurting my head looking at it, but so I'm slowly trying to kind of get used to it. But bearish, bro. Like no question here, because again, we roll into the 10th, 12th, somewhere in that window, 13th maybe, I don't even know, but that's when we'll kind of see a return back. But because it was so deep, anyways, I think I'm killing a dead horse here at this time. Being a dead horse, not killing a dead horse. So what else? What else? Okay, so back to this situation here. We had that, and then we pushed up, and then this pushed up here. We made that new high here, and then Dow was a lower high. We had higher highs here, so I took this sell from here, and then there was a reason why I drew this. Oh yes, because this was a lower low here with Dow. We had higher lows. Was this going to be a buy, sell, buy, and push up? I did take this buy, but I got squeezed out. See this buy right here and pushed up? I wanted to make a new high and be done because it was a dumb pump, right? So pump, you buy, sell, buy, right? Talk about this all the time on the channel. But because of where it was and the situation, I was like, this thing's going to fucking fail. Sure enough, I squeezed out and got out. I could show you to you if you want to believe me or not, but I took it. And then I was done. Fuck off. And then sure enough, look, it's slowly coming back down. Overstayed my welcome, extremely tired, so, and that was that. Dollar, obviously, when we talked about this conversation, if you've been paying attention, dude, I was like, are they going to come up down into here to then buy, or are they going to come up in here to then sell? Obviously, we came down and we bought, and then we got extremely bullish here. And then that is what, kind of helped us out with the flow. And VIX can, obviously they pushed real up high, and then they were slowly retracing while we're pushing up, and that's pretty much that. I'm not even going to discuss it more, but here you go. This is a nice reversal. Look. And then you see classic reversal, balanced price range. You can see that it's a break of structure and a lower high. And then you would expect it to come down into some of these equal guys here. And then here, so I mean, here's the thing, man. 4 days is a lot. This whole week, let's put it this way, I expected a bearish week, right? And then possibly also last week to flip. So last week our high was Wednesday, so and that's the high probability of the high of the week, if it's bearish, would be Monday through Wednesday, and sure enough they did it on Wednesday. But we had a nice bull run, man, and it's time to collect a little bit. But and that's kind of like the gist here. So I don't know what else I can really say there. And this is a huge pump dump. So this is proving my point of what profiles that I talk about. Pump dump. When it pump dumps, it's a sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. Look. Did that not just happen here? Beautiful with Dow? Well, it's not beautiful. It's ugly to me. But at the same time, that's that flow. Why? Because the lower low to lower high, the profile can just reach up first, right? So even though we had a dump first, then pump, I just knew we were counter trending. If I want to keep the conversation simple, the counter trend was still happening, and now we're making the next low, and that's why I am a little kicking myself why I should have held that sell at the top. But I took the profit, and I was happy because I've already done extremely well. I don't need to, dude. Every day is like becoming a scenario where I got chopped up today though. It was tough, but at the same time, it's like I'm not scared of it, right? I respect it, and I don't want to overtrade because I get overconfident, and then these little losses add up. But it's just becoming an experience thing. I don't know how. It's a good place to be. I mean, fuck, but I can feel it that it's that situation. And then obviously here you get the nice push down, and then these guys haven't got wiped out yet. So to me, this looks like a nice lower high, and it's a little shallow, so they could rate up one more time and then roll over. We have time. First of all, we already did the retracement and sold off. Number one. Number two, we still have 2 to 4 days. A lot can happen in those days. So, obviously all-time high here. We broke right through it. I mean, here you got liquidity there. You have an imbalance and then a breakout area right there. See that? I'm not going to draw this. I don't need to. You know I'm pointing right at the shit. You know, and I've been already talking about selling before anybody even knew it was going to be fucking selling. So, you know, I've got plenty of documentation since the 26th of May. Today's the 8th. Okay. I'm not trying to be, you know, arrogant. I'm just keeping it real. So look at here's a shakeout. So here's a dump with the drives, pump, short, pump, and then speaker. So we finished the lower, we'll finish the lower high counter trend, and then here's your displacement of then the first lower high for the sell, right? So then it becomes, you know, your structure down, and we're getting into the opening range gap, that's ceiling. So they pump the brakes. I mean, they fake the funk with, you know, if it was going to keep going, because again, seasonality, it's not ready to buy yet. You're not looking. I'm not looking for that big buy, even though I just caught this big buy. But because it dumped, I know we're gonna come and wipe out sell. If there's nothing on the chart, and if you've never learned anything that I've taught on this channel, it's that who made money. You know they finna wipe out people, bro. It's just that simple. So the vacuum cleaner got to go and clean up. So and this shit's ugly too. I don't fuck that. Fuck this. Oh my god! Every time I go back to it, it's just so hard to. God. I don't know what else I can say. So I think it's gonna get a little. I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna get tough. I don't. I feel like I got the best of the market already, and it's just like, man, I'm like tired. But yeah, man. 12, 11, 12. You know, 13. If they do it early, they do it later. I don't know, but I mean, you know, seasonal window shows. I mean, we're still selling. So in this whole gist of maybe coming a little lower, and then if we look at the overbought here and oversold RSI, we knocked on the weekly. The weekly has been beautiful. Just go look at the weekly. Look how if you go look at the weekly and the RSI, I'm sorry, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what to tell you. The daily here, you can see we came down to a 50 here. So I feel like this party ain't done until we see an oversold here. So that can leak into, okay, now I'm talking about NASDAQ. We have this bullish imbalance here. Would have been very similar to the S&P one. So the liquidity imbalance and then breakout area, how low do they want to go? Here's an older weak gap. There's a liquidity guy right there with the previous month's low. Isn't that the previous month's low? Yeah, that's May 1st low. So, you know, typically you would expect it to be a retracement and then another buyback up for the rest of the year. But I don't know about that happening this year because of everything going on. And, you know, I mean, I'm gonna sound like a classic retail trader and say, "Oh, well, I want to support resistance. I want to retrace 50% and then buy back up." Here's that all-time high that we broke. I still have it on the chart, coupled with the old week gap. If it was a 1-minute chart, generally it'll come down here and buy up. So we can't say that doesn't happen, or it can happen. And then sometimes they like to fall short of it being so perfect. And they'll come a little higher into one of these guys. I don't fucking know. But man, coming below here, I don't see it. And the only reason why I say that is, I don't know. Here's the caveat. The problem is that this drop here in 25, push up here, and this drop here in 26, and then this push up this happens so fast. It's like, dude, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. If you take this low and this high and you make it a range, where's 50%? I'm going to eyeball it right here. What does that show you? It shows you coming back below here. Sweeping this guy? I doubt it. I just doubt it. We do have gaps here. We do have some inefficiencies. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. But to sum it up, the month of the month of June, we get those two higher lows that I was kind of discussing. I mean, I can't make that up. These are supposed to be the last low of the year before we start expanding in July. Okay? So once we do this and then we expand, July's gone. It's the seasonality for it. So, you know, so that's my point. Like I just don't think this is done with the bottom side unless they. I just don't see it. But time distorting here, and then this becomes that's that drawing that I drew. Right. I'm not even going to draw it. I'm going to leave it the way it was. I said it was going to come here, and it came below here to here. I don't fucking know. I feel like I'm missing something, man. Please don't be long. 45 minutes. Fuck. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this is helping. And you guys take care and God bless.